It's Thursday, March 27th, 2008. I'm James Kotecki. Welcome to the show. Hey, you know what I love about being in the media? It gives me a chance to speculate wildly about possible political scenarios. If they come to pass, I look like a genius, and if they don't, hey, I was just putting it out there. Well, few individuals have been more speculated on in this election cycle than Al Gore. And now Time magazine jumps back in the fray with a story about how he could still end up being the nominee. If enough superdelegates sit out the first ballot at the convention and neither candidate gets enough votes, then Gore could sail in as a consensus candidate and, for good measure, pick Obama as his running mate. But hey, if we really want to pull out all the stops of a Democratic fantasy, let's just make Jed Bartlett the nominee. I know I don't think he's very busy right now, but that's mostly because he doesn't actually exist. Next, John McCain, in a major foreign policy address in California, has a message for America. We can't do whatever we want. So, making international decisions without being willing to listen to other countries, that's out. Torturing suspected terrorists, that's out too. Ignoring global warming, I know it was fun, but that's out too. Riding a square-wheeled tricycle while juggling flaming rubber chickens and singing God Save the Queen, well, that kind of depends on the situation, actually. Under a certain realpolitik, it sometimes makes a lot of sense. Finally, federal prosecutors are now saying that a congressional trip to Iraq was paid for secretly by Iraq's government. No, not the one we think we have control over, the one before that. Apparently, as the AP and our own Mike Allen report, the 2002 junket was organized by a U.S. citizen named Muthana al-Hanouti, who was working as a secret agent for Saddam Hussein and who organized and accompanied the congressional delegation to Iraq. Al-Hanouti was paid for his services with 2 million barrels of oil, which don't exactly seem like the least conspicuous things you could bring through customs, but to each secret agent his own. There is no evidence that any of the 3 congressmen on the trip, Jim McDermott, David Bonnier, and Mike Thompson, had any idea the trip was illegitimate at all. The trip was ostensibly set up by a Michigan charity called Life for Relief and Development, and who could possibly be against that? A spokesman for Congressman McDermott says the only reason McDermott made the trip was to see the plight of Iraqi children, but definitely not to help al-Hanouti bring back a few million barrels of oil. It's kind of a one-man job. Well, that's it for today's hit. Check out Politico.com/nothing. And don't worry, no matter what kind of goofy antics your realpolitik calls for, always make sure to save time for us right here on Kotecki TV. There we go. That's the true intimacy that the internet audience likes.